How does a nation fall? And by what means is a republic preserved? Is it through power, the military, or the conscience of its citizens? This question was already raised 2,000 years ago in Rome. It was a time of transition where the foundations of the state were tested. Marcus Tullius Cicero, the ancient Roman politician and philosopher, spent his entire life wrestling with these profound questions. He was a man of the Senate. Active in the Roman Senate, the heart of politics, he witnessed firsthand how a republic is maintained and why it eventually collapses into ruin. His work, De Re Publica, was not just a simple political theory, but a deep exploration of the principles that keep a nation alive and thriving. His questions remain valid even today. They challenge us to look beneath the surface of our own political systems and understand their true strength. In the 1st century BC, Rome was the most powerful nation in the world, dominating most of the Mediterranean with immense wealth and military might. However, cracks were already beginning to form within. The external strength of the empire masked a growing instability that would soon become fatal. Political leaders began to pursue personal power rather than the public interest. The delicate balance of service and duty started to tilt toward ambition. The military ceased to be the nation's army and transformed into a personal tool for individual generals, creating a dangerous shift in true authority. Elections were no longer driven by debate and persuasion, but by money and demagoguery. The voice of the people was being bought and sold. With the emergence of powerful generals like Gaius Julius Caesar, the balance of the republic began to shake rapidly and uncontrollably. People started to want a leader stronger than the law itself. This desire for a strong man was precisely where the collapse of the republic began. In this situation, Cicero presented a crucial insight. He argued that the state is not merely a power structure, but a community of citizens. He defined the republic as a union of citizens sharing common laws and common interests, emphasizing the collective over the individual. In other words, the republic is maintained on 3 foundations: the law, the citizens, and the pursuit of the common good for all people. The first pillar is the law. Without a shared set of rules that apply to everyone equally, the structure of the republic cannot stand. The second pillar is the citizens. A republic is only as strong as the people who inhabit it and their commitment to the shared values of the state. The third pillar is the common interest. When the state serves the many rather than the few, it fulfills its true purpose and maintains its legitimacy. If power is used for personal desire, the republic is already collapsing from within, regardless of its external military or economic strength. Cicero emphasized a balanced political structure that combined the advantages of monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy to ensure lasting stability. He warned that when this balance is broken, the nation inevitably falls into either tyranny or total chaos, losing its soul in the process. Cicero's thoughts were not just simple theories. They were tested in the harsh and unforgiving reality of actual Roman politics. As Caesar seized power and the republic began to shake, Cicero stood publicly against the rise of a dictatorial government. He insisted that the laws and institutions of the republic must be protected at all costs to prevent the rise of a single ruler. In particular, he strongly criticized Mark Antony, who sought to seize power and argued for the preservation of the republic's laws and systems. However, the political reality was very cold and cruel. The forces of individual ambition were becoming too powerful for reason to contain. In 43 BC, Cicero was executed by his political enemies. It was a tragic end for a man who had dedicated his life to the state. The display of his head and hands in the Roman Forum became a tragic scene, symbolizing the complete fall of the republic he loved. The life of the philosopher who tried to save the republic ended there, but his ideas remain deeply etched in the history of man. Cicero's core message is very clear. A nation is not maintained by military force alone. It requires something much deeper and more resilient. It is not maintained by economic power alone, nor is it maintained by the presence of a great leader alone. These are merely temporary. The last force that protects a nation is the virtue of its citizens and their deep respect for the law. This is the ultimate shield. When citizens think of the public interest, the republic becomes strong. It is the shared commitment to one another that creates true power. When citizens start to pursue only their own self-interest, the republic begins to collapse from within, regardless of its borders. Through this story, we can gain three important changes in our perspective. First, the state is not just a problem for politicians. It is the responsibility of all citizens. Every person has a role to play in the health and survival of the community we share. Second, we must understand that the law and the common interest are more important than the pursuit of raw individual power. This moral foundation is what allows power to be exercised justly and for the benefit of all, rather than for the exploitation of the many. Third, the most powerful force that protects society is ultimately the conscience of its citizens. It is the final line of defense. Learning this lesson allows us to navigate the complexities of modern life with a clearer sense of purpose and a deeper commitment to justice. Cicero left the essence of the republic in a single sentence. The state is built on law, and law is built on the virtue of its citizens. Dr. Jongmoon Ko's Humanities Channel is a space to share the wisdom of understanding today's life through history and philosophy. If this video was helpful, please click like. It means a great deal to the channel and helps us bring more content to you. I hope you always have good things in your life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history and thought. Philosophy is the guide of life, the investigator of virtue, and the expeller of vice. Cicero's words remind us of our higher purpose. The laws were established for the sake of the citizens to ensure that each person could live in peace and security within the state. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. History is our greatest teacher and guide. A room without books is like a body without a soul. We must continue to seek knowledge and understanding in every aspect of our lives. The safety of the people shall be the highest law. This principle guided Cicero and continues to be the foundation of just governance. True law is right reason in agreement with nature. It is of universal application, unchanging and everlasting. It calls us to duty. The authority of those who teach is often an obstacle to those who want to learn. We must think critically and for ourselves. Nothing is more noble, nothing more venerable than fidelity. Faithfulness and truth are the most sacred endowments of the human mind. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. These simple pleasures sustain the mind and the heart. Time is the greatest teacher, and history is the memory of the human race. We must learn from the past to build a better future. The higher we are placed, the more humbly we should walk. Humility and wisdom go hand in hand in the pursuit of a just state. The ship of state must be guided with a steady hand and a clear vision, always mindful of the currents that seek to pull it off course. Two things fill the mind with ever new and increasing admiration and awe: the starry heavens above me and the moral law within me. Courage is that virtue which champions the cause of right. It is the bravery to stand up for the truth even when it is unpopular. Justice is the set and constant purpose which gives to every man his due. It is the core of every healthy and thriving republic. The welfare of the people is the ultimate goal of all politics. We must never lose sight of the human lives that are affected by our choices. We are not born for ourselves alone. Our country and our friends have a share in us. Our lives are part of a larger whole. Peace is liberty in tranquility. It is the state we must always strive for through the careful application of law and civic virtue. To study is to live twice. It allows us to experience the wisdom of the ages and apply it to the challenges of our own time. As the sun rises over the eternal city, let us remember the lessons of the past and commit ourselves to the virtue of the Republic. Wisdom is the queen of all virtues. We must pursue it with our whole heart to ensure the survival of the republic we cherish. The path to a just society is long and challenging, but it is the only path that leads to true and lasting peace for all citizens. May the light of reason and the strength of civic virtue guide our steps as we navigate the challenges of our time. Thank you for watching. We hope this journey into the mind of Cicero has inspired you to reflect on your role in the state.